You do not need to earn your rest. You deserve it simply because you are human. We live in a culture that says rest is a reward for good behavior. And if we work hard, hustle, grind, then we can rest. If we perform well, then we can rest. But no matter what you accomplish, how much you accomplish, the bare minimum expectation is that you show up tomorrow. You do not need to earn your rest. You deserve it simply because you are human. The problem with this idea of earning our rest is that it sets us up for a lifetime of disappointment. The standard is always moving. The goalposts are always moving. And it also puts the burden of creating rest on those who have less energy to begin with, those who are already exhausted. So let me say it again for those of you who didn't hear it. You do not need to earn your rest. You deserve it simply because you are human. I want to share 3 things that have helped me think about rest in a different way. 3 practices that have helped me make rest a bigger priority in my life. The first thing that has helped me think differently about rest is to realize that I am not a project. You are not a project. We are not works in progress. There is nothing more to be fixed, nothing more to be polished, nothing more to be optimized. You are not here to learn lessons or improve. You are here to live a life. And if we look at ourselves as projects, then we're always going to put pressure on ourselves to perform, pressure on ourselves to earn that rest. The second thing that has helped me think differently about rest is remembering that life is not an either or proposition. Life is not about figuring out how to get the most done so that I can have the most amount of rest later. Life is about integrating rest into the way that I work every single day. It's not about working super hard now so that someday I can relax. It's about how do I incorporate rest into the way that I work today? How do I take breaks during my workday to move my body, to breathe, to reconnect with myself? And the third practice that has helped me think differently about rest is setting boundaries around when I will and will not work. By doing this, I'm able to protect my rest. I'm able to protect my time to recharge so that I can show up and do good work. When we work all the time, when we're constantly checking email, responding to messages, taking work calls, we're actually doing ourselves a disservice because we're not allowing ourselves to fully disconnect. We're not allowing ourselves to return to work refreshed and recharged. One of the best books on rest that I've read recently is one that I highly recommend called Rest is Resistance by James Clear. Now, you might be familiar with James Clear. He wrote Atomic Habits. I have his book on habits on my desk right now. James Clear, in Rest is Resistance, talks about how the Industrial Revolution created a mindset that equated rest with sloth, that equated rest with laziness. He talks about how we've internalized this idea that rest is something that we need to earn. When we work all the time, when we don't prioritize rest, we actually become less productive. We burn out. So I want to leave you with this quote from James Clear. He says, "When we stop working, when we stop producing, we are seen as useless. But here's the paradox. When we work from a place of rest, we produce our best work. The secret to getting ahead is starting where you are, doing what you can with what you have, and then resting before you're exhausted. You do not need to earn your rest. You deserve it simply because you're human."